Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Near the senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this another brand new day. It is raining hard outside. Pretty solidly. You can probably hear it if it's that sort of white noise, ambient sound. Just that's raining. Yay! Yesterday, I had gotten, well, on Wednesday, there had been a note in my post office box. And so yesterday, I took that note, walked down to the post office, did a walkies, went from the post office over to Safeway, bought some sodas, and then walked back. Found out that thing that they'd told me was there on Wednesday was actually something I'd picked up on Monday. Their systems don't work in sync, and so sometimes a day after you pick something up, you'll get a notice saying that thing that you just picked up is there. And that's what happened. So thumbs up. But yesterday when I went walking, it had been raining, cleared up. I went walkies. I got back, and it started to rain through the rest of the day. And now it is raining hard out there. Woof. So there's the weather report. It's raining hard. We needed it, and it's cooled down quite a bit. So who knows if it's going to stay that way. I mean, once the weather pattern changes and it stops raining, in a day or two, it'll probably heat up again, but life is life. And Plague Rat Report, I mean, we know. We've got the large plague rat in chief on TV constantly not wearing masks and mocking people for wearing them, even as the death toll climbs in the United States because people refuse to wear masks. So, and on the spider report, I gotta start off with this one because it's funny. Yesterday, there was a fat-bodied, one of the fat bodies, smaller legs, not like the tiny bodies with the huge spindly legs, but like the garden spider type. There was a garden spider type, but it was more of an indoor spider, so its legs weren't as hardy as a regular garden spider's. But it had been up there, and it had been making a web of sorts, but it kept falling and dangling and then falling, and then it was dangling, and then I went, okay, got my little stick, picked it, moved it, and got it across the room finally. I was hoping it was okay. Well, this morning I come in, and she's up there again. Not there, but over there, next to the window. And she's dangling and going up and then coming down and doing her spidery stuff. And then she goes up onto the ceiling and starts moving and traveling over toward the spot that I moved her from. So I got my stick out again and then snagged her web, moved her back over to the other side of the room. She went down and back down to where I put her yesterday. So invalidating all of her hard work. Thumbs up for that. Everybody else, the spider above the window, still in good shape. The other spider next to the box fan, she's doing a lot of work on her orb right now. And so it's hard to see her because it's dark outside and she's darker colored. And unless she moves with, the parallaxing because of the eyes and the distance, and you see her move in between, unless she's moving, I can't really see her until later on in the day. But she's working on her web. And then in the far corner, where the last spider is, she's doing well too. So definitely thumbs up. I know it's silly just to talk about spiders, but thumbs up. I mean, why not? They're fun, they're interesting, and as long as they don't crawl on you, thumbs up for that. Then there are those people that, I still have that primitive fear of creepy crawlies that most people have. So even though I don't have my arachnophobia anymore, if I had a spider crawling on me, I'd be like, bah! Just the same way that I don't like having other bugs crawling on me. I had a beetle or something. Ah! So, thumbs up for that. Like I said, I know there are people that pick up spiders and let them crawl on them. And some spiders would be okay, like some jumping spiders. They're actually kind of cool. I don't think I'd mind. But there we go. Now let me see. I don't have a ton to talk about, so I'm just gonna do more talking about this sort of thing, which is my cosmic horror pantheon stuff, and hopefully I'll be able to remember some other things as well, because I don't just want to talk about that. Especially since the one that I'm going to be talking about is one that I've actually kind of talked about before, but this wraps into a subject that I haven't talked about before with the cosmic horror stuff. I've mentioned before how generally the cosmic horrors and those that are less than them, and then you work your way down, generally it's like if they descend upon a planet to do awful things, and they start like, if they descend upon a planet for a food source, they generally don't eat the vegetation. They don't eat a lot of the mammalian creatures there. They just eat the people. And it's like, well, why? I mean, we're not exactly a good food source compared to a lot of the other stuff on the planet still. There's a lot better stuff to eat than just people. Why? That ties in. Now, this one is just my own idea and concoction, because I've tried to stay as hard science as I can for a lot of the stuff on the multiverse thing, because as I was talking with my therapist, a lot of the stuff that I've extrapolated from my multiverse stuff gone through down the science, and it's like, whoa, I'm following along. I don't know the math, I don't know the science, but what I'm extrapolating is what they're actually thinking. So there's a lot of that. But I figure we don't really get to see it out here where we are. We're in the cold and dark. But intelligence, cognition, and the greater the cognition, has a greater quantum effect. There's quantum tunneling, quantum entangling, quantum junk going on inside of your head. The greater your capacity for thought, the greater the quantum tunneling and not tunneling, knotting. Now, there's the 3 zones to the universe that I've said. Largely out here, we don't get bothered by the cosmic horrors and such because we're in the Ungarden, the cold and dark. They don't come out here. Our universes are too frail. If they stepped into one of our universes, it would flash and burn instantly from the pressure and the heat. They don't spend a lot of time out here. There's no need. And so we don't see the effects of this quantum tangling and knotting inside of our heads. But in the other 2 zones, the Ungara and the Ungare, these effects are more easily seen. And that quantum tangling and knotting in the brains makes the meat of the body so much better. And when you're in the Ungara and the Ungare, you're able to have the organs and such necessary to harvest that should you eat somebody that has that. So literally, the quantum knotting of intelligence is good and good for ya. Now, not everybody is going to be awful and terrible. I mean, in our world, meat is good, but we still have pets that we don't eat. We don't eat each other. Yeah, when you're living in these places, sure, all of the people around you have that quantum knotting inside of their heads that makes them good to eat, but they're also your friends and your family, and you grew up with them. You're not just going to eat people just 'cause. So on the lower basis, it doesn't really affect people. But the creatures that are above, that are hungry, they're the dangerous ones. Like tying into the cosmic horror Tamakanoso, who, as I've mentioned, all of the cosmic horrors are basically broken in some fashion, broken individuals. Tamakanoso is one that it's turned its back entirely on pretty much everything. It's the one that's wolf-like. It runs with its pack. And there's, on power levels I've mentioned, there is Amaterasu, who is the Gakira, the most powerful. There's only one in the entire universe, and that's her. And everything else is ranked according to her. So there's the Gakira. Below that you have the Gakiru, which are a bunch of individuals that are almost as powerful, possibly more powerful, but don't have the same suite of skills that she has. After all, she can step from universe to universe at will. She can step from any universe to the infinite abandoned city at will. She can change her time scaling at will. A lot of individuals may have these things, possibly some combinations of them, except only the cosmic horrors can go to the city. Nobody else can. So there's the Gakiru. Below them, the less powerful Gakiri, and then below them, the very less powerful Gakire, and then below that is us, the Gokura, the numberless, prey. And so Tamikanoso runs with his pack of Gakiri, other creatures, not necessarily of the same species or the same universe, but when they run, they just run. And it's all in the moment. There is no future. There is no past. There is only now. There is no thinking. There is only being. They run for the sheer pleasure of running. They run for the sheer joy of being alive, which of course is horrible for everybody else, because they run through 1,000 universes. In each universe, they run through 1,000 worlds. And when they run through those worlds, it takes a lot of energy to run. So they burst from the forests on a new world, and they just immediately start to eat every man, woman, and child on the face of the planet. And they run and they eat until everyone's in their bellies. And then they run back into the forests, and they dash out of the forests on another world where they continue doing the same thing. After they've run through and eaten everyone on 1,000,000 worlds, then they're tired and they sleep. At which point, that's when Tamikanoso gets up and goes wandering. He doesn't really need to sleep. Cosmic horror. And when the others of the pack wake up, they're going to engage in that part of activity where, well, you start making sure the pack always has members. Tamikanoso, being one of the cosmic horrors, is sterile. They are singular. There is nobody for them to mate with. They cannot just asexually reproduce. And Tamikanoso loves his pack paternally so much that it would rather tear the heart out of the multiverse than hurt one of its pack. So when these creatures are now mating, since it is sterile, it is not going to rob any one of its pack of the possibility of being able to reproduce. And so it gets up and leaves before that happens. And when they're all done, it comes back. Now, when it's out wandering, if it finds people, individuals to speak with, it will do so. If you're camping and it runs across you, it will stop for the night for some conversation and then leave the next day. So you survived, unless they decide to run on that world after they're all done. So thumbs up on that. Now, I've got a rough handle on about 6 of the 12 cosmic horrors. Of the remaining 6, those are largely just names with a rough idea. I need to work on personalities and abilities and all that. Abilities less, more personalities. Those are the important parts. So thumbs up for that. Yay! Oh, I got something in my eye. I think it's like aqueous and vitreous humors, and probably a lens with a retina way back at the end. Anyway, though, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker. And even though I count American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand with my depression, fibro, and more, I'm sometimes lucky that I can remember anything at all. Did I say it all? Did I say my entire spiel? I have no ideas. Sarah Morgan, thumbs up and thank you. Area Fendi, thumbs up. We have Benjamin Grace, greatly appreciated. Tommy Nelson, thumbs up. Leslie Lesso, I sure hope I pronounced that properly. DRXP, thumbs up. Lazy Mode, good advice and thank you. Dankrupt, greatly appreciated. AJ Falls, thumbs up. Gaming with Will. Now that could be a name or just great amounts of will. Hard to say, but thank you. Maybe Fame, maybe. Simple, thumbs up. Frosty Lair, greatly appreciated. Colin Reisner, good to see you. We have I-Thal Hawkins, greatly appreciated. And then there's Sebastian Ferris, howdy. Dai Ganu, I sure hope I'm close, thumbs up and thank you. We have Beck Chase Wolf, thank you so very, very much. There's James Geib, thumbs up and thank you. Oh, I can't pronounce this one properly, so Cenayyugur, thumbs up and thank you very much. Roman Sam, greatly appreciated. And then there's Evelyn, thumbs up and thank you. There's Heidi Klecka Woodward, greatly appreciated. Mickey Moore, I don't know. And then there's Nate Lopez, greatly appreciated, each and every one of you. And also Potatotron, thank you so very much, it is greatly appreciated. But each and every one of you, whether I answer your comment or thank you or not, you do get me out of my head into the world, dealing with real people, and that is appreciated to no end. Definitely a thumbs up. If you could check out my various links on Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, if you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign, and somebody has, thank you again. In the next couple days, some money is going to be deposited to my account. Thank you so very much. It is appreciated, a very good thing. If you cannot donate to my GoFundMe campaign, if you could become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money to one of those two places, I do have a PayPal link down below. And if you want to help me out without sending money, I have an Amazon wish list link as well, with things like hamster food, cat food, hamster bedding, silly things, not silly things. If you could check it out, that would be very cool. Now, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I do take all good wishes. I deposit them in the bank of my heart, where I draw interest, so thank you very, very much. If you can toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. A definite thumbs up. And hopefully I remember to put the subscribe to the channel thing at the front of the video. I like the way it's done. I think it's kind of tasteful. So hopefully it's working. Oh, excuse me. Gas in my tummy. Ugh. I have to wash down my caffeine with caffeine, so it's carbonated. Anyway, though, I have this video here. I have the second half of a video that I posted yesterday. After therapy and then going to the post office for no good reason, I was pretty demotivated by things, but I still wanted to get something done. So I did, on a very fun game. Now, there's not a lot of views on it, and that's fine. Thumbs up on that. Hopefully some people watch and enjoy, because that's the reason I do them. Definitely a thumbs up. So, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend. And remember, the lobster hat wearing duck head of judgment watches and judges us all. And right now, it has fully justified scorn. So please, wear a mask. Practice your social distancing. Practice your self-care. And we know there's no justice. We have to hold them accountable somehow. How, I don't know. But things are intolerable the way they are right now.